Welcome back to Acrylic Arts Academy. Today, we're painting a refreshing glass of lemonade. M. Graham Paints sponsored today's tutorial. They sent us these beautiful mediums to showcase their versatility and quality. We'll be featuring two of their fantastic mediums, gloss and matte. This will teach you multiple valuable ways to use mediums in your acrylic artwork. Here are the materials you will need for this project. Pause to gather these items. The description below also provides this information. M. Graham Paints offers gloss and matte mediums. Both are concentrated and increase the paint film's adhesion, flexibility, and durability. Using these mediums over water alone is recommended, as excess water can decrease the strength of the acrylic film. Using a pencil, lightly sketch the outline of a glass filled with lemonade on your canvas. Another easy way to get a basic sketch of the glass is to use one of our coloring pages from our coloring book Culinary Creations. Around page 3, there's a glass of lemonade design. Carefully cut the page out and transfer it to canvas using carbon paper. If you're unfamiliar with the process, pause this video and watch our tutorial. Return when ready. Begin by adding 2 small piles of titanium white paint to your palette, as shown here. Add a dab of cerulean blue to the first pile of white, and keep a bit of bright yellow nearby. Mix the blue and white thoroughly to create the sky color. Grab your matte medium from M. Graham and add a small amount to the paint. Because we are not adding water now, please use a small amount of medium to avoid diluting the color. Small amounts of water will mix into this as you work, thinning the paint more if desired. Blend the medium into this shade of color well. Using your flat brush, apply this color above the horizon line. Be sure to avoid painting over the glass. Because we added matte medium, the amount of sheen or shine you can see will be lower once the paint has dried. We'll demonstrate several easy and valuable ways to use the medium as we work. Once you have a good coat of color on the background, place some cerulean blue on the palette and add a little matte medium over the top. We're using matte because we want it to match the rest of the sky. Once the medium and paint are properly blended, add it to the sky and the parts displayed here before the previous layer of paint has dried. This will cause the colors to blur and combine, called wet-on-wet blending. It's exactly what we're looking and hoping for in this situation. The areas where we add this slightly deeper blue will be the corners and nearer to the horizon line. Blend this as you see fit, but don't obsess. Have fun swirling the paint and seeing these two shades subtly work together to create a sky. Now, we'll add some matte medium to the untouched pile of white paint. Swirl these two things together well and scoop up some color to apply to the canvas. After you're done with that, bring out burnt umber, Naples yellow, and titanium white paints. Blend them all using the colors shown here to create a tan, sandy color. Separately, create a mixture of burnt umber and matte medium for details. Make sure you're adding matte medium to this color, as we will paint the table and want the sheen to be lower. Remember, we're using M-grams mediums with different finishes to demonstrate how they can create texture and realism in your work. In this case, we'll make the sky and table matte, and the glass will have a glossy finish to imply its smoothness. To paint the table, use a base color of tan and add a bit of white while the paint is still wet to create highlights as needed. Avoid painting the area below the glass as you work, as this will be reserved for the reflective shadow we will paint in a bit. Use a detailer brush and brown to outline the texture of the wood and the space between planks. Keep the lines you create parallel to one another. This will help you accurately paint this tabletop according to the viewer's perspective. Let's switch to using gloss medium. As we continue this project, do your best to remember which paints you have added matte or gloss medium to. For the next portion of this painting, we'll also need blue, sap green, cadmium yellow, and titanium white. First, make a pile of plenty of white, equal parts blue and green in smaller proportions, and a dab of Naples yellow. Separately, place some cerulean blue on the palette. Add a little gloss medium to the top of this pile, and then mix them all together thoroughly. The result should be a light seafoam green, and that's perfect. Apply this color to the middle band of the canvas below the horizon line but before the wooden table begins. It will be faster to use the flat brush for this part. Use sweeping side-to-side motions as you apply this color. Be sure to avoid painting over the glass. Clean off your brush and mix some gloss medium into the cerulean blue. While the previous layer of paint is still wet, paint over it with cerulean blue. The result will be a slightly blended version of both colors with some streaks and variations, precisely what we want to happen. Flip this brush to its widest orientation horizontally. Use a slicing motion to apply some cerulean blue to the ocean to create movement in the water. Switch back and forth between light seafoam green and cerulean blue as you get the details looking the way you want them to. Clean off your brush and grab sap green and burnt umber. You will also need cadmium yellow. Add these colors in equal proportion to an open area of your palette. Be sure to add some matte medium to this mix. Don't blend the colors, instead, pull them separately as needed. Separate some cerulean blue, scoop up a little burnt umber, and combine these colors. The result is a darker grayish brown, which we will use to paint the shadows under the lemons and glass. Apply this color as shown here. Accent this shade by adding streaks of cerulean blue while the paint is still wet. As you work toward the center of the shadow, clean off your brush and apply bright cadmium yellow. Quickly scoop up some of the shadow colors you just blended and add a small amount to the yellow portion. This will tint the color but not cover it completely. Clean off your brush and apply some cadmium yellow to bring up the color with the final layer. Use a smaller brush to apply bright yellow streaks as you finish this. Use a detailer to create thin streaks of cerulean blue to the outer edges of this shadow. Let's paint the shadows under the lemons while the shadows under the glass dry. Use the blue and brown mixture that we used under the glass to enhance the shadows under the lemons. Follow the pattern we have created here to get a similar effect. As those shadows dry, use a clean detailer brush to pick up some white paint and add a little flourish to the underside of the glass. This small flourish will help to represent the bright reflections concentrated at a single point. This gloss medium will piggyback the glossy nature of these paints, helping us create realism in this painting. Grab Naples and cadmium yellow and apply them to the palette in the amounts shown here. Separately, you'll need cerulean blue. Add the gloss medium over the top of each color and mix it in thoroughly. Using a clean, flat brush, apply cadmium yellow or some variation using an additional Naples yellow to produce a very bright yellow. Apply a base layer of yellow, and then utilize wet-on-wet blending to add areas of lightness and brightness. If this feels confusing, simply follow along with what is shown here. When the glass is fully painted, switch to a detailer or round brush and scoop up some cerulean blue. Use this color to fill in the bottom rim of the glass. This is just the first layer. We will add details as we move along. We need a shadow color for the underside of this glass, so mix a blend of cerulean blue and burnt umber until you achieve a similar color to what is shown here. Apply it as a shadow in certain portions of the glass. This color will show up in the corners of either side, and painting a small corner piece will imply the flat planes of this glass. Take your time with this. Your attention to detail will assist you later in creating a believably realistic painting. Use this same color and a detailer brush to delicately add a short contour line up the sides of the glass. This will differentiate it from the background and help bring it forward in visual space. We'll need more white, so please put some on your palette. Be sure to mix in the gloss medium so it's nice and shiny. Use this mix to add some shiny reflective shimmer to the rim of the glass. Let's use cadmium yellow and Naples yellow to fill in the lemons. Follow us using your detailer or round brush to fill in the fruit slices. Have fun with this. Isn't it neat to see how this painting is shaping up? You're doing a great job, so keep at it. Mix some burnt umber into a small amount of yellow paint to create a darker yellow. Use this color and a detailer brush to paint between the wedges of the lemon slice. Clean off your detailer brush and use a very light Naples yellow to contour the edge of the lemon cut in half. Use the deeper yellow to paint the underside of the whole lemon on the left side. Mix plenty of yellow with a dash of red to create a bright orange. Add a bit of burnt umber to make it darker. Now, you can use this color as a more colorful shadow. Apply it where shown here. Clean off your brush and mix cerulean blue with sap green until you arrive at a teal color. Make sure gloss medium has been added to this shade. Use a detailer brush to delicately add this color in thin lines, as seen here, to show the indentations of the glass. These simple lines will imply varying planes of glass. Use this color to outline the glass, too. Clean off your brush and mix plenty of cadmium yellow, some gloss medium, and a dash of cerulean blue. Use this to add details to the left and right sides of the glass and the upper corners. We'll continue working on the details of this glass as we mix a light blue using plenty of white and a dash of cerulean blue. Add small flourishes at the top and sides of the glass, as you see, and follow along with our movements if this feels too confusing. Remember, pause the video if you need more time to use these techniques. Use a very light blue to add a small swipe of color under the glass lid to make it look more see-through at the top where there's no lemonade. Now, let's add some of the most intricate details and paint in some frosty ice cubes for our refreshing glass of lemonade. To make this beverage look frosty, we'll use cerulean blue to outline the form and varying shades of light blue to build the cubes. Though ice has no color, this will help us create the illusion of a frosty and reflective beverage. It may feel difficult, but follow along with our motions to build this ice out cube by cube. You will find yourself switching back and forth between very light blue and cerulean blue while building the three-dimensional nature of these ice cubes. Have fun with it. You can follow our exact moves or improvise your method. Using a brush's flat edge helps create straight lines and flat planes. Use bright white in select areas to make the shiniest spots. Another way to help this beverage look extra frosty is to create condensation on the side of the glass. We can quickly achieve this look by painting small circles in varying sizes and placements around the glass. Begin using a wash of blue or the deeper blue shadow shade to paint tiny circles around. Fill those in with light blue when you're ready. Then, randomly create another set of these small circles on the glass and, this time, make them light blue and white. Take your time until you're happy with the look, even if you need to pause the video to get there. Use this time to sharpen up the look of your ice cubes, if needed. Next, let's go back to detailing these pieces of lemon. Use very light yellow or white and a detailer brush to highlight the slice of lemon on the glass, primarily around the outer edge. Clean your brush and switch to the burnt orange color. Use it to fortify the pieces between each wedge of fruit, as shown here. You can also paint a partial contour line around the slice of lemon. It's also an excellent time to use a detailer brush and add another layer of low lights to the wooden table. This will help fortify the look of the planks of wood and the texture of the table. Use a mix of the dark orange color and cadmium yellow to deepen the fruit of the half lemon. Follow the same pattern you had before. Use cadmium yellow as a highlight to show the texture of the lemon. Apply very light yellow to the pieces in between the wedges. Optionally, you can take a little more time to make the color of the lemon slice on the glass brighter by adding a layer of shadows and highlights until you're happy with the look. This final stage of the painting is a perfect time to rework any details that don't look right. Have you ever played with mediums in this way to create varying finishes within one painting? Let us know your experiences in the comments below. And, did you know? These fantastic mediums by M. Graham Paints are not only for mixing into your paints but also serve as a varnish to safeguard your works for years to come. Just look at the difference that one application can make. This non-yellowing varnish will instantly help the colors of your painting pop, maximizing the look of your lovingly handcrafted works for now and in the future. Thanks for joining us today. M. Graham Paints made this video possible. Remember, their gloss and matte mediums can take your acrylic paintings to the next level. Thank you, M. Graham, for providing these fantastic products. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more helpful painting videos like this. See you next time.